Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ike Mma podcast. I'm joined in studio by pro English champion, world champion, and European champion Muay Thai fighter Antony Thomas. How are you feeling? And I should also factor in there as well. You are also an actor and a registered stunt performer, aren't you?
That's right. You're right about all of the fighting stuff, all the titles I've got in the background here.
Yes.
Um, I'm not a registered stunt performer yet. I'm still in training.
Okay, I see.
That's one thing. That's one thing I've been focusing on is getting registered.
Okay.
That is the next step in my career at the moment.
No, that so to do them to do those stunts, you do have to, as in, um I'm guessing there's certain formalities and there's certain is it training you've got to do to be a registered, recognized, certified stunt performer.
Yeah, that's right. So to get onto the British Stunt Register, you have to be trained in six different skills.
I see.
One of them, which is a martial art, which is already ticked off for me quite easily. And then six different skills such as gymnastics, swimming, uh, scuba diving is one, rally driving. There's an array you can choose from. You just need six of them at a very high level to be accepted. So it's quite a lot of training involved in that, which I'm doing at the moment.
Is there any reason why they'd want you to have one of those let's say sports skills such as mixed martial arts or Muay Thai and gymnastics? Is it to help with flexibility and just keeping you in shape or so?
I think it's just because in films and in stunts there's a lot of fighting. It's I think most of the stunt work is fighting,
Mhm.
so they want people to have a knowledge of it, so that you can't have someone going in who's never done any martial arts before, to go in a fight scene with an actor or as an actor, and they don't know what they're doing. So um, martial arts is like definitely the most important one I would say to have.
Mm. Yeah, no,
So yeah.
I can
So it's
see why
ideal.
that'd
I've
be the
got it.
case. Yes, no, definitely. Um, but I was going to ask you about the stunt performing a bit later, but since we're touching on that now, I mean, what what attracted you to that? Or is it something that you kind of fell into by almost by accident?
I mean, not really accident. Just always had an interest in film and TV, and I don't mean just watching it. I mean like actually making, you know, the process of making it in the production, everything like that. It's always interested me how they make films. I've always watched like the extra. When you get a film, you get the extra kind of scenes, all the outtakes. I love it. Um, so when I spoke to a couple of my friends who actually are stunt performers, friends from school actually, and I was like, oh, it's actually you can make a career of doing it. And I'd already been training in the martial arts, already had that kind of done. So I just looked into it, looked at the British Stunt Register, and realised actually, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is a new career for me. So
I
that's
have
what I done.
I have checked online as much as I can with regards to I think your fight record and the stunt performing that you do. Now I do watch a lot of films, especially a lot of the action-based films, thrillers and dramas. Um, so what sorts, as in what particular titles is it that you have performed in? Because I more than likely would have seen you, but just not known who you were at the time.
Oh, well, I'm really fresh on the stunts at the moment, so I haven't done too much in the way of stunts. I did do a film last year, which is called Bad Day at the Office, and
Ah,
that's featuring Tamer Hassan and John Hannah, which is quite a it's a not going to be like a big Hollywood movie, but it's definitely going to be a good action movie to watch. So I was a part of the stunt team in that. Um, and also I was part of the stunt team in the Squid Game, the challenge, which has come out recently. Just doing a bit of the games testing for that. So there's a couple of names that people may know. But as I say, yeah, I'm fresh, so there's it's all to come. It's all the big films are going to be.
Sure.
for the future for me.
Definitely. Um, doing these, also doing these stunts, I'm sure there's a lot of work and a lot of time, sweat, and energy that goes into getting it right. I mean, is it exactly that? Is it that you, when you're there on set, you've got to probably do the scene or the stunt one, two, three, probably more than a dozen times until the producer and the director are happy with the finished product, that it looks, very believable, and once the film's being watched by people in the cinema or at home.
Yeah, that's right. Like when I've the stunts I have done, you do it once, you think, oh wow, I was flipped over onto my back, and I was like, damn, I don't want to do that too many times on the hard concrete. I don't want to do it too many times, and then it was like, oh, we need to do that one again just because this wasn't right. Um, okay, we're doing it, and then oh no, the lighting was a bit off here, so we need to just change that. So we do it again. So
Mm,
it's not about sometimes the stunt is going well. There's just one thing on set that maybe, one person was in the wrong place, slightly wrong angle, and they have to just keep doing it again. So you can do a stunt a lot of times before you get it right. So you got to be prepared for it.
sure, sure. Also, I was going to talk about the the not so nice side, the injuries you might get on scene. Um, not on scene, but on set rather. And I was going to ask you that kind of touches not just into the performing, but into Muay Thai as well. Um, you know, are those when say a really drastic, really complicated, really heinous, you say like a fall scene or a scene whereby one of the actors or stunts you're performing, you get hit by something really heavy, sharp object, something like that. Um, are injuries quite commonplace, or do they kind of make the compensations for that?
I would say they're common because obviously with everything there's always going to be injuries, but a lot of stunt performers are conditioned to it. That's what all the training's for, strength training and just make sure and then also just training to get it right. So if you know what you're doing, you can prevent the injuries from happening in the first place. And also the stunt coordinator would be there to make everyone safe and make sure that it's done right. So it's as safe as it can be. It's not. We're not trying to make it, dangerous as possible. It's got to be as safe as possible. So, if there's a mat that can go down, or if there's some pads that can get put in to an area that's vulnerable, then that's what you've got to do to prevent the injuries from happening. Talking about that one I done with the flip over, actually, that was one where I injured my ankle doing that. I
Sure.
flipped over, and the way I landed on my side, my ankle hit the concrete, and it's one place I didn't have any pads in because I didn't
Okay.
think, oh, I need to pad my ankle, and I was hurting for a little while. But these things happen, and you get injured. The same as fighting. You can't pad up everything. So when you're sparring, you're gonna get little niggles on your knees and elbows and bits and pieces like that.
When that does happen on set, I mean, and maybe you might be put out of action for a few weeks or so. The filming company, they do look after you guys though, right?
I mean, that's not happened to me. I've not been in it enough to be for that to happen.
Okay.
So as I say, I'm still fresh. I'm still not on the register. So, um, but yeah, I've got that to look forward to as well. All the injuries.
So how are things after your last fight? I was going to ask you about it sooner, but I'm a bit weird when it comes to speaking to fighters after a loss. 'Cause I'm a bit afraid of if they'll probably tell me where to go if I even
That's all right.
apologize to them. But how
No,
have
that's
things
fine.
been?
Yeah, good. Obviously, I did lose, and it got waved off by the ref. I didn't go down. I didn't get knocked out. It was just a TKO. Um, and if I'm honest, I was a little bit annoyed because I think that I definitely could have fought on more. I think it got waved a bit early. I was still with it 100%, but they're looking out for the safety of the fighters. So if they think that I've taken a bit much of a beating, then they'll wave it off, and that's what happened. But fair play to my opponent, Jamie Petch. He's he's a good fighter. He has some really strong boxing, and just done the job really, like fairly quick, and didn't let me didn't let me warm up into the fight at all really. So yeah, no, hats off to him really, and I'll just get back in the gym and carry on to the next one.
Um, you say that you still felt 100% you still could have forced on, and it's something I've heard fighters say before in the past and other podcasts and interviews that even if you're the doctor and so on, if I know my body and I still feel I can still go on if there's maybe just 10 or 30 seconds left in the fight, then because it's me, this is my life, my career that I'm talking about here. I don't give a fuck what you think. I still want to go and put in my best and do what I can to see if I can, still change things basically in the fight.
Mm, yeah. So sorry, what was the question in that? Yeah.
No, it's just what you said. When you said that you still felt 100% in that particular fight, though the referee
Mm.
waved the whole thing off. I felt that well, if you felt still felt well enough to still continue fighting, they should have allowed you to continue fighting. I do feel that maybe you kind of were slightly cheated out of the win. You possibly could have won. Potential was there.
Yeah, definitely because like I'm quite durable and I can take a hit, and that's one of the things, why I've won fights before, because I can take a bit and then give it more and get warmed into more, and then in the later rounds I'll kind of get better and the opponent fades. But in this case, it got waved early, and yeah, mate, I can't you can't argue with the decision. If
Yeah.
the ref makes it, it is what it is. You can't. I've never kicked off about any decision that's been made. It's just a case of you have to listen to the ref. If they waved it, you can't go back and say, "Oh no, let's continue fighting again. It's
Mm.
over. It's done." So on to the next one, and that's it.
Speaking of Muay Thai and combat sports, how did you get into that? Um,
So I got into that. I started off with kickboxing and kung fu, and I'd done that. I'd got went through like the belt system, and then I decided that I wanted to do Muay Thai. Went to Thailand and realized that yeah, Muay Thai is the one I want to do. So then I found a Muay Thai gym, trained in Muay Thai, and I moved around a few different gyms, and ended up in the Knowsley Academy, which is one of the top gyms in the UK at the moment, and such a good place to be. All the top fighters there, and since I've been there, it's just been fight after fight, and if I want to fight, I can fight, you know, as much as I possibly can, as much as my body can take. So it's really good, and yeah, just to have a passion for it really, and just it just grows, and the more I do it, the more I want to do it even more. So
you have been to Thailand to spar and train, and of course you sparred and trained here in the UK. Any as in though of course they were there, it's almost like an opposite climate to what we have here in the UK. But did you feel as in any different when you're training and sparring over there? The fact that it's much more humid over there, does this, of course, I'm assuming it would sap your energy levels a lot quicker than it does back over here.
yeah, it's definitely a different training over there, but what the sessions over there are a little bit more um, slower, longer and slower, rather than here we're quite intense and we train for an hour and a half. Over there, you could train for 2.5, 3 hours, slightly low intensity. Um, when we go running, for example, we'll go slow pace, but longer. So yeah, you take it into consideration the heat, but it's such a good atmosphere when you're out there and you're just sweating and it's just dripping off you,
Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
just such a good feeling. You just can't beat it, really. Can't beat
Mm.
training in Thailand.
So for someone like yourself who, the belts that you got there behind you on the wall, you clearly you achieved so much success in this sport. I mean, what advice would you give, say, any newcomers coming on the scene, the younger guys behind you? What advice would you give them to kind of achieve the same sort of success that you have?
I would say, I would probably just say stick at it, have your goals in mind, and you know, just stick at it and be consistent because consistency is the main key to success, I would say. It's no point if you some people like to train a little bit and then they have time off, or if they have a fight, they have one fight and then they have months off. It's not, you need to keep the consistency going. After you win a fight, get back in the gym as soon as possible, get the next one booked in, and just keep it consistent. Um, and that's the best advice I can really say. It's the same as training. You've got to keep training consistently. If you feel crap, there's no point in having a day off. If you feel crap, just still train, but maybe just take it easy. Still train. Still you. There's one thing I always say that if you have a day off, you might have learned something that day that's so important. If you go training, you might have just learned one small little thing. But just turn up. Just turn up, keep it consistent and keep training.
So, for someone like yourself, if there was a fight camp coming up, well, it's not a fight camp, but if you had an upcoming bout, coming up, your particular fight camp for Anthony Thomas, how would it look like for you? Because I noticed maybe it's just me, but I noticed you all year round you seem to stay shredded, as in there's not an ounce of fat on you ever.
Thanks. Um, I just like to I like to keep my diet acceptable, like consistently. I don't just, oh, I've had a fight now, I'm just gonna pig out completely and not eat healthy anymore. I have a few meals that are bad and then back on healthy eating again. I'd say the key to success in the dieting side of it is again is consistency. Is you know it's okay eating a salad once in a while, but if you eat a salad every day, that's consistent. And then also don't restrict yourself too much in the sense that it's not sustainable. It needs to be sustainable. So I need to have a bad meal every now and again, just so it's not. I feel good. I feel good about having a bad meal rather than feeling bad about it. And then you need to just keep going with the healthy eating and always, but never feel bad about yourself when you have something bad. Is what I'm trying to say. Is kind of don't be too hard on yourself. Just just give yourself the chance to pig out once a week, even if it's twice a week. It's what you do most of the time, not what you do for a little bit of the time. You know, it's what you do most of the time that counts. So eat the healthy food.
No, what I used to do myself, I mean, probably wouldn't be what as good as what you're doing, is that I'd always track my calories. There's something called If It Fits Your Macros or so. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Uh,
Yeah, tracking macros. Yeah, a lot of people.
yes.
Uh,
Now, for someone like yourself, I doubt you do that because you are always active all the time. Your activity levels as a Muay Thai fighter and as a stunt performer are going to be very high. I mean, tracking what you eat, is that something that you've ever done, or is that something that you normally do?
I wouldn't say it is. I'm more so I don't track it as such, but I do watch what I eat. So if I've had a very inactive day, haven't done much, had a rest day, then you can't go eating loads and loads and loads. Um, but if I've been very active in the day, I've trained twice, I've done like a trampolining session, I've gone for a run, I've been training all day, then my body needs more food. So you need to just be aware of what your body needs. So it's a case of getting used to it, I think. And I'm just used to what my body needs. How much I've done means I adjust how much I eat, portion sizes. um, things like that. So not tracking, but just being aware of how
Yeah.
much you're putting in your body.
Just moving slightly away from Muay Thai, but still kind of sticking to the combat sports scene of things. Um, what is your take on all these influencers and YouTubers can't trying to notch their way onto the combat sports scene? Especially now, got the likes of Jake Paul, and his brother Logan Paul boxing. Of course, there's no how that you don't know about the bout between him and Mike Tyson coming up.
I mean, yeah, they're doing what they need to do to earn a living, and it's keeping people interested. So I'm not against it at all, really. Yeah, I've just yeah, I think it's always going to happen. I don't think you can stop it, and it's probably is good for all the sports really, because it gets people interested that maybe wouldn't be interested in the first place, and then maybe they'll continue watching. Let's say a celebrity had a or a YouTuber had a Muay Thai fight, people will be like, "Oh, what's Muay Thai?" They don't even know what it is. But after that, they may start watching Muay Thai, and it might, you know, be good for the sport after that. So, yeah, it's not bad a thing.
You don't think that it kind of takes the spotlight off guys like yourself who this is something you actually love, it's in your blood, and you've actually had to work your way up from the ground upwards to achieve the sort of success and the clout you have today.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, everyone's always going to be a little bit annoyed about that because we'll be getting paid peanuts as well, and they'll be getting paid millions to do the same thing
Yeah.
that we've been training our whole lives to do, and they just walk in. But there's not much you can do about it. It's going to happen, so you just got to embrace it, I think.
When can we see you in the ring next? When's your next fight date, if it's in the works?
Yeah, that's a good question. I did get asked to fight on the Raw Combat, the Raw Championship, but at the moment, I'm focusing on a bit of stunt training. So I'm not having time off. I'm still in the gym. Yesterday I was in the gym. Today I was in the gym this morning. So I'm still training. And then when something comes up, I'll make that decision whether to take the fight, or I'll definitely fight again this year. I think more towards the end of this year, there'll be something else coming up for sure.
Um, Before I ask you for shout outs, can you talk a bit more about your team and the gym that you fight out of? Because look, with someone who has got the number of achievements and success that you have, definitely you must have a good team of people around you. So I mean, are there any other names coming out from that gym that we should be keeping our eyes peeled for? You know,
Oh, well, definitely. I do a lot of training with another Antony Kanicki, and he is. We've been fairly level in the over the years, and we've trained together. But he's definitely going to be getting on the rankings this year, and I think his his last few fights have been phenomenal, and definitely be looking at it in the top 10 rankings this year, 100%. Keep an eye out for Kanicki because he is definitely definitely one to watch out for at the moment.
last but by no means least, any shout outs you want to give to anyone? Team, family, friends, sponsors?
Yeah, like I mean, there's too many to shout out, but everyone at the Knowles Academy, obviously my coach Christian Knowles, Lyndon Knowles, they prepared me for my last fight, even though it didn't go my way. It was the training was great running up to the fight, and I did feel good, thanks to them too, and also everyone in the gym, really, everyone putting me through my paces, sparring, um, all the strong champions that we have in the sparring sessions at Noah's Academy. We've got people fighting on one championship that are in there, putting me through my paces as well. Um, and it's not easy to do a 3 minute round with some of these guys. But yeah, shout out to everyone really, everyone in the gym because everyone bounces off each other. Everyone's there to lift everyone up, and everyone wants everyone else to be successful.
Mm,
So yeah, everyone in the gym.
sure thing. No, definitely. Look, Anthony, thank you so much for coming on the show, and definitely, I'm sure we're having you back again for another chat.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks for having me on. And yeah, hopefully next time I'll have finished my stunt training, and we'll be talking about the next top film that I've been working on, or also I might have another fight later this year, and we can talk about that. Um, definitely, yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. Guys, if you've enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to leave a like and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can also catch the audio versions on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcast. And Anthony, once again, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you.
Peace out.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.